YouTube, what's going on, man? Black Couch Booking here with a brand new video. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. And as always, if you old to the channel, watch all of my old videos in their entirety. I'm ready to get right into it, though. Hey, man, what's going on with y'all tonight, though, man? So, I don't know if y'all been paying attention to my community post in my community tab on my channel, but your boy been doing a lot of studying, a lot of reviewing, you know what I'm saying? I just don't go into these videos blind, coming up with ideas, talking out of my ass. No, I'm actually putting in the work. I'm studying, I'm reviewing old segments, old promos, old matches, whatever the case may be. And I was just casually watching, one of my favorite wrestlers right now, Austin Theory. And I was watching his time evolve, and it just made me think. I'm like, bro, this guy is really like the future. Like, he really has all the intangibles to be a top guy within the next year or two. I really sincerely think so. I'm not just saying that because he's just one of my favorites. I know what guys have it and what guys don't have it. And even the people who I like, if they don't got it, they don't got it. But I still like him. But Austin Theory is really a guy that should be at the top of the card within the next year or two max. But within the next year, he's a guy that should be, if there's a ranking system of top 10, contenders for the main WWE Championship or World Heavyweight Championship, Austin Theory should be in slots 7 to 10 for sure. So that made me think. It made me really, really think, like, I think Triple H, this might be a hot take, but I think Triple H is fumbling the future of the WWE. And I'm going to talk about the men's division in this video. And if y'all, show interest in this topic, then I'll talk about the women's division as well, because I might have a different opinion after I do my research. And the reason why I had to do my research and my studying is because I don't want to be biased. I don't want to just say that these guys are the future because I like them, because I like a lot of the people that I'm gonna talk about in this video. But I really, really had to go back and look. And if you check on my community post, check those segments that I posted. You can see the titles of those segments. And when I was watching, I'm like I've seen this before, but I was blown away, bro. Solo Sakoa in NXT 2.0 talking. He was talking like, bro, he was really like a badass in NXT 2.0, really giving me good vibes, really made me feel like he should be the guy. And now I still like Solo Sikoa. I like what he's doing right now, but I think him having to be involved with this bloodline stuff, especially in the capacity that he's in now, is kind of hindering his growth. And his growth was already hindered because when he first joined the bloodline, he wasn't talking at all. He was just really the enforcer, the background guy, didn't say nothing, didn't make no facial expressions, nothing. But this guy was a talker. So when he first started to talk, people were like very surprised because a lot of people didn't watch NXT 2.0, didn't know who he was, things like that. So I think that hindered him, right? That's one. Let me get the Austin Theory out the way. Triple H is a hater. I'm sorry. Triple H is a hater. Vince McMahon really wanted Austin Theory to be the future, and he was about to push him to all-time heights. I sincerely think if Vince McMahon still had control of the company, when Austin Theory had the Money in the Bank, that he was going to let Austin Theory successfully cash in on Roman versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 39. Then eventually maybe Austin Theory would have lost the belt, or they just would have went straight to Roman versus Rock, no belt at WrestleMania 40, which was supposed to happen anyway. And then Cody Rhodes would have got the belt off of Austin Theory just later on, maybe SummerSlam or something like that. Like, I sincerely think that Vince McMahon was ready to like push Austin Theory that far, which you can look at it both ways, right? I think that's not a bad thing. I think Triple H, with some of his booking decisions, are very safe, and he's not ready to push certain people to that point where you have to start liking them. I hated Austin Theory when he first came out with the cell phone, the emojis, and all that type of stuff. But then that match against Jeff Hardy, the match against Finn Balor, once I really saw how good he was in the ring, I started to ignore the shenanigans. And then I realized he's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. Bro, with him actually beating people and then posting the selfies actually on his Instagram, that was genius. It was ahead of his time. And it was during that current era. So whether older people didn't like it, it was cringy. The younger folks was going crazy for it, whether they liked it or didn't like it. they was going crazy regardless on social media. So it actually worked. And then when people seen how good he actually was, when he took that bump from Brock Lesnar in Elimination Chamber, I was like, oh yeah. Even excuse me, even more so, I'm like, this guy is something special. Then that's when I had to go back and watch his Evolve stuff. That's when I had to go back and see his NXT stuff, and to see the transition from his NXT character to now to then. Triple H has a very Austin Theory. In NXT, Austin Theory was essentially a doofus, right? He was a doofus of The Way, which is with Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, and Indy Hartwell, which was a fine character to play, especially because the stable became comedic rather than straight up heels. They were a comedic family, and people started to really like them, and he was the doofus character of the family. But him cashing in that Money in the Bank on the United States champion after the United States champion said, I'll take on an open challenge, where he could have just kept the Money in the Bank, doofus. Him not knowing that Grayson Waller is putting him in harm's way, and he's not turning on Grayson Waller, you know, and this has been happening since like June, that Grayson Waller's been screwing Austin Theory over. Doofus. I gave Triple H some slack with that bad decision with the Money in the Bank, with the Money in the Bank situation, because then he had Austin Theory come back and win the United States Championship. And not only did he do that, he actually made the character better, more serious. He, you know, Austin Theory grew a beard, got even more shredded. You know, he actually was ruthless on the mic, got a win against John Cena at WrestleMania. And then he won the tag team championships with Grayson Waller. So I'm not mad at that. But now you're slowly dragging him through the mud with this gimmick. No one is that invested in this story of him turning babyface, and it's not like it's a primetime story. It's a very side plot. More people are interested in the Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods turn right now. Like, and by the time you do this turn, if you don't do it within the next 2 to 3 weeks, people aren't going to care, and it's not going to get the reception that it should get. But let me not spend too much time on Austin Theory, because I could make a whole video just about him by himself. Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes, I'm going to put them together for this reason, because those barbershop segments on 2.0 were gold. Whether it was the comedy, whether it was just having so many backstage characters, like you had Jakara Jackson, you had the, I forgot bro name, that be with Jada Parker in the barbershop, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was cool, and it really gave them more personality. I feel like Carmelo Hayes' personality isn't shining as much as it did in NXT, which of course he was featured more prominently on NXT. However, with this stuff with Andrade, the best thing that he said was put the fries in the bag, and the matches are great. Every match is great, and they're going to have one more match for sure. And his match against LA Knight was cool too. Carmelo Hayes is a great worker, but I don't know if you got to repair him with Trick Williams, or you just got to give him a chance to shine more. Carmelo Hayes, he has more personality than what's being shown. His thing right now is just, you see him backstage with his shades on, his shades down like this, and he'll say something, and then that's it, pretty much. Carmelo Hayes, when given the opportunity and given the right sparring partner, he can actually cut a decent promo. Not the best, which is why he was paired with Trick Williams in the first place. Speaking of Trick Williams, red hot in NXT, on fire. But now, I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but when he makes it to the main roster, is Trick Williams really gonna become world champion? And I hate that I gotta jump that far, but think about this, right? The trajectory of these young guys when they go from NXT, especially when you're the NXT champion, to Raw or SmackDown, you become the mid-card champion essentially. Bron Breakker, for example, Trick Williams is going to be a mid-card champion on the main roster, but I feel like that shouldn't be a trajectory. Bron Breakker is going to be a world champion as well, but that's because they've been saying that. A guy like Trick Williams was never expected to become NXT champion. Once he started getting over and start proving that he can have so much character and charisma and stuff like that, that's when they gave him the shot, because he was really doing a lot of good stuff with Carmelo Hayes. But between 5 and 10 years from now, should we have the expectation that Trick Williams is even gonna, get a title shot at the title, when you have a guy like a Bron Breakker in front of you, where you're still gonna have guys that are older, but they're still gonna be prominent figures in WWE around that time, and then they're gonna sign more guys. See, the reason why I think Triple H is kind of fumbling the future is the only guy that has the opportunity to really show himself apart from everyone else is Bron Breakker, because he's the only one on Raw. On SmackDown, you have Sakoa, you have Carmelo Hayes, you have Austin Theory, you have Grayson Waller. Bruh, we gotta split that up. You have all of your young guys that have the potential to do a lot of stuff on their own on that one brand. And then Bron Breakker gets to go over here on Raw. He gets to eat. You have Bronson Reed over there as well. But I don't think Bronson Reed gets in the way of what Bron Breakker is and what he's becoming. Where on SmackDown, you got all these young guys, but you still got Cody Rhodes. You still got the Bloodline stuff. You still have... you still have a guy like Andrade who might my favorite wrestler, but might not never get a belt in WWE as of right now, but he's still featured prominently as well in the mid card. You got LA Knight. You have Jacob Fatu on there. Once the Bloodline stuff is over, you have to do stuff with them as well. You gotta get these young guys on Raw too. At least send Austin Theory over to Raw if you're going to keep Bron Breakker a heel, so Austin Theory and Bron Breakker don't have a lot of interaction, so they need to get into it. You could keep Grayson Waller and Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown, and then maybe you bring up Trick Williams and you still put Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams together. And they can either both be heel or both be babyface, but they don't have to be tied to each other. There's, still, they make up, they become good friends again, stuff like that. And then you got Grayson Waller, who is supposed to be the next Miz. And Grayson Waller, that promo that I posted in my community post, he's actually a decent talker. I hate when he talks during the live segments with his Grayson Waller effect and all that. But that backstage promo, he did it pretty good. That was good emotion, good raw emotion. I think that he really has the potential to be better, but let's get rid of that whack ass outfit, that boxing shorts. That I hate it. Terrible. Give him something else. So Sakoa, I can't wait until the Bloodline stuff is over, because I'm very interested and intrigued to see what they actually have planned for Sakoa, because he can actually talk. Quite similar to Jacob Fatu. If you ever heard Jacob Fatu talk, see, you always talk about like stereotypes and stuff like that. I don't like. Me personally, it's like a wild Samoan, savage Samoan type of thing. I kind of don't like that, because Jacob Fatu on the mic is hilarious from what I've seen with like just YouTube videos and stuff like that. And so Sakoa is like really be on some y'all I'll beat your ass. We talking about type of like that. I want to see that in WWE. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we get that raw type of emotion, type of like real I'm getting bucked with you type. Like Jacob Fatu and Solo Sakoa can pull that off well, and it's believable to me. Where other guys who try it, I'm like, all right, bro, put the fries in the bag type shit. But yeah, I think Triple H, I understand when you're on the main roster, you got to focus on the guys who are already making merchandise, already making a lot of money for you. But these young guys, Vince McMahon, you say what you want. He had the right idea with Austin Theory, and Austin Theory is really talented. I'm trying to tell you. Watch his stuff in NXT. Watch just segments he did with The Way. Watch The Way, funny moments, Austin Theory, Johnny Gargano. He can do both. As a babyface, even the doofus babyface was over. He was doing a really good job. And then when he became serious, Triple H gave him a character with a direction, but it was very generic. All right, bro, listen, you didn't cash in the Money in the Bank. Now go out there and say, I'm the youngest, I'm the future, I'm the not. Like, that's very generic. We've heard that promo before millions of times, and it didn't go over back then, and it won't go over right now. I'm young, I'm the future, I'm the now. Matter of fact, I'm not the future. I don't want to hear that. Give him something else. If you never seen Austin Theory and Evolve with Gigi Dolan, aka I think her name was Priscilla Kelly back then, man, you could have really done something great with Austin Theory, man. And Gigi Dolan not doing anything anyway. So sometimes you got to go back to move forward, bro. Like seriously. And I'll end the video with this. I like Bron Breakker, but I don't think he is better or has more personality or has more character development than anybody else who I mentioned. I'm keeping it a buck. I think Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, Solo Sakoa, Austin Theory, and I ain't gonna say Bronson Reed, I'm tripping. But all those guys have more interesting development than Bron Breakker. And I think Grayson Waller could also be that as well. Literally could be the next Miz if you just build them up correctly. I think all those guys have way more potential than Bron Breakker. Obviously, Bron Breakker's doing a good job, though. I like the character, but he's not ring work and mic. He's not better than none of them. I'm sorry. He's not. He's just he has a good physique. He has a good music. He has a good the dog with the barking and all that. He has a good character package around him. But those guys are working with less and they're doing more. Except for Solo Sakoa, he's in the best position, but that position is about to get overshadowed by The Rock anyway. So it is what it is. But let me know what y'all think, man. Like, comment, subscribe if you love support. And if y'all like this video, I'll talk about the women as well. Peace.